Davis Diamond, everybody. Texas A&M McNeese set to go here in the midweek contest before your 13th ranked Fighting Texas Aggies get set ahead to Ole Miss for a big SEC series this weekend. I want to welcome everybody watching on the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in this evening. Matt Simon with you here. The Aggies enter at 26-12 on the year, number 13 in the country in the latest ESPN USA softball poll. The Cowgirls 23-16. They've lost their last three. They were swept over the weekend at home against Southeastern Louisiana, the Southland Conference leader. McNeese, by the way, four-time defending Southland Conference champs. For the TV audience, let's give you the starters just for the McNeese Cowgirls. We'll give you A&M in the next half inning. Cassidy Chance will lead it off at short. Maddie Weeks is at second. Riley Cloud at first. Maddie Taylor's your DP. Alexis Dibley is in center. Nico Dominguez will catch. Jada Munoz is at third. Delaney Dunham is in right, and Riley Heister is in left. McNeese as a team is hitting 299 as a team in their 40th game of the season. They're averaging 5.8 runs per contest. The Aggies take you to field here in front of a nice crowd on hand to catch this last game of this abbreviated homestand. 80 degrees under mostly sunny skies with a wind blowing out to left about 10 miles an hour is your weather conditions for today. Aggie defense, Paisley Allen, Kelsey Mathis, Frankie Brogel in the outfield, Kennedy Powell, KK Dement, Talon Edwards, Maya Perez around the infield, Ariel Kowalewski is behind the plate and in the circle for Texas A&M. It's the junior out of Santa Fe, Texas, Sydney Peters. 9-4 with a 2.67 earned run average. This will be her 10th start of the year. 73 and a third innings, 56 hits allowed, 39 runs. She has walked 24 and struck out 85 in those 73 innings. Opponents hitting just 208 against Sid. We saw her in all three games this weekend against Georgia, and really the bookend games that the Aggies won, the 1-2 punch of Sydney Lessentine starting, Sydney Peters getting the close. Peters got 2 saves and 2 critical saves in one-run games. That was a really cool little thing we haven't seen a lot of this year. Aggies haven't had a lot of, I would say, opportunities for tight game saves this year. So that was fun to see, and we'll see if that continues to carry as we work through the season. All right, sit back and relax and enjoy this one as the Cowgirls are getting ready to step into the box. They're on their way to Corpus Christi. They will face off with the Islanders this weekend in Southland action. James Landreneau, the head coach for McNeese, going out to third base, gets a hug from Russ Heffley. These two coaching staffs get along well. They know each other. I don't think they've ever met, but obviously they will run into each other at tournaments and on the recruiting trails as well. So it's good to have this program here in town. This is a late addition to this Texas A&M schedule. It was added about 3 weeks ago. A&M lost some games to Weather and San Marcos about a month ago. McNeese was gracious enough to come over and pick up the game. So we'll tell you about them. They are not afraid to play anybody. All right, here we go. Cassidy Chance will lead it off. Sydney Peters in the circle, and the first pitch of the game is taken down for a ball, and we are underway here in Aggie Land. Cassidy Chance at the plate, sophomore, left-handed hitter out of Mansfield. A lot of Texans on this roster. 329 hitter on the year, swings and misses at one just off the plate. No homers, 16 runs driven in on the year. 7 stolen bases. Cowgirls will run 61 stolen bases as a team. They got some pop, about a homer a game is what they're averaging this year. As we told you, they're averaging about just under 6 runs a contest. Rise ball, lays off it, checks her swing. Third base umpire Johnny Paz will say, nope, did not go around, 2 balls and a strike. That's Matt Johnson, by the way, the crew chief behind the plate. Bubba Ewald is at first, and Johnny over third is your umpiring crew here today. 2-1 the count to the first batter of the game, Cassidy Chance. There's a strike called right at the letters, even it up. So again, it was really good to see maybe a little bit of a mini evolution there of this Aggie pitching staff as it's continued to kind of grow and evolve throughout the year, and the way that the Sydneys combined to pick up the 2 wins over a very good hitting Georgia team. Swing and a miss. Chase to rise just a little bit off the zone, and Sydney Peters begins this game with a punch out. 86th strikeout of the season for her. That is the team high. 1 down. That'll bring up Maddie Weeks, the second baseman. Weeks, a right-handed hitter out of Clinton, Mississippi. Southern Miss transfer. She has been hot. First pitch is taken just off the plate for a ball. Weeks, a .297 hitter, homer, 8 runs driven in, but she has a hit in 7 of her last 8 games. Starting to heat up for this Cowgirl squad. Pop up, coming back, and it will hit the net above the Aggie dugout. It counts 1-1. This McNeese program, if you're not familiar with it, you need to be. They are one of the, I would say, most successful, if you want to call it a mid-major. They're in the Southland Conference, but they are a perennial power/problem. They're a power, they're a problem if you have to play them. 4-time defending league champs. Pitch is just off the plate. And they have not been to the tournament since 2023, McNeese has. However, they have been right there on the cusp of getting in. They've been to 9 of them. They've actually played in 2 here in Aggieland over their tenure. 2-1 pitch. That is off the plate in the river on the inner half, and it counts 3 balls and 1 strike. 41 win season last year for McNeese. Just missed making the NCAA tournament. 40 wins in 2024. 47 wins in 2023. Tie ball 4 as Weeks draws a walk. In 23, they almost knocked Washington out of the postseason up in Seattle. So Weeks on with the walk. 5 stolen bases on the year. She stands over at first base. That'll bring up Riley Cloud. .328 hitter. Cloud is the first baseman tonight. Senior out of Mitty, Arkansas transfer. That ball misses for a ball. Cloud has reached base in 6 straight contests for McNeese. 23-16 on the year, Cowgirls. That's off the plate. The river to the right-handed hitter, 2-0, and here comes Trisha Ford. Sydney maybe was getting squeezed a little bit in the previous batter, but these last 2 pitches specifically have not been that close. And so, starting to set the table for this McNeese offense that can score. And so Trisha Ford out of the dugout, Aggie's 4th-year head coach. Visit with her junior pitcher. Somewhat of a condensed week again for A&M. Obviously, they had a little extra time off last weekend. Thursday game and then a Friday doubleheader to get the series in before the rain. Had the weekend off, and then this is a bit of a later midweek for A&M. They tend to play, they don't play a lot of them, but when they do, they tend to play Tuesdays. So this is a Wednesday. Next week also is a Wednesday. Get on a plane tomorrow, head to Oxford, and play 3 games. So it's going to test this team to have to play, what is this, 4 games in about 5 or 6 days. But that is softball life for sure. 2-0 pitch. And that's a strike on the inner half. 69 miles an hour on the gun. 1 out, 1 on for McNeese in the top of inning number 1. Taken below the knees. And another hitter's count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Three-1 runners going. That is a strike called. No throw. AK double clutched on that one. I couldn't tell if Talon Edwards was over or not, but it's going to be a stolen base for Weeks. That's her 6th of the season. Yeah, Talon late breaking to get to the bag, and AK just kind of double clutched, and so it's an easy steal there. Count is full with 1 out. Now a runner in scoring position for the Cowgirls. Fouled onto the net. Peters has started a game in each of A&M's conference series except for Texas. She started a game against LSU, picked up a victory there, won their start against Kentucky, did not factor in the decision in the game she started against Georgia. Rise ball popped up, foul left side. That will carry a row or two above the Aggie dugout. Did not start against Texas, only pitched in one of the games. So primarily out of the bullpen of late, but really versatile. Both of them, both the Sydneys can really do start relief. It's kind of what fits best for the matchup. Changeup cued slowly to third. Kennedy Powell looks, throws to first for the out. Maya will throw back to third. It gets off the glove of KK DeMint, and that is going to bring a run home. Throw from Maya was a bit late and a little high, and nobody backing up third base allowed the ball to just roll far enough away from KK to allow the run to come home. Maya's quick throw over. KK had to go up for it, and nobody's back there. And it's 1-0 McNeese, and a very sloppy start to this game for Texas A&M. Swing and a miss by Maddie Taylor, the designated player. A very dangerous bat in this lineup. Leads the team in homers with 8. Leads the team in RBIs with 34. I suspect we will see her throw as well. She is a two-way player, a sophomore out of Sterlington. And misses down, 1-1. The Aggies with a walk and an error, allowing McNeese to score the first run of the game. Popped up off the hands into left field. That will curl foul and bounce into the Aggie bullpen, and the count is 1-2. A&M will be playing from behind right off the bat. I don't think, well, Georgia scored in the second inning in each of the last 2 games, so a little bit of a familiar space, but not a clean first inning, that's for sure. 1-2. It is low. Two. That is taken just below the knees. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pop foul off the hands here on the left side. Peters, 3-ball counts to each of the last 3 hitters in this game as a changeup swung on and missed. The strikeout as Taylor goes down. That will end the first inning for the Cowgirls. However, they do score a run without the benefit of a hit. They cash in a walk with a stolen base and an error. And McNeese leads it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Aggies coming to bat. 13th ranked Aggies coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Lineup is the same we've seen for multiple weeks now. Kennedy Powell at third, Talon Edwards at second, Maya Perez at first. Michaela Wark, the DP, Ariel Kowalewski catching, KK Dements at short, Kelsey Mathis in center, Paisley Allen in left, and Frankie Vrajel in right. That is your starting lineup for the Aggies, and they will face Cadence Williams, sophomore right-hander out of Dickinson, Texas. 2-0 with a 4.45 earned run average. Only her second start of the season. 28 in the third innings, 35 hits, 20 runs. First pitch is a strike at the belt on the outside corner. So KP, Talon, and Maya here in the bottom of the first inning. Floats over for a strike at the knees at 60 miles an hour, and it counts 0-2. McNeese has struggled, I would say, defensively this year. 46 errors as a team. However, they have turned 15 double plays to get themselves out of some trouble. 0-2. Change up well outside. Defense for you, that's Eister in left, Dibley in center, Dunham in right. Munoz, Chance, Weeks, and Cloud around the infield behind Cadence Williams, and Dominguez is your catcher. 1-2 is off the plate to Kennedy Powell, 433 hitter, second best on the team. 1 home run, 22 runs driven in, 17 stolen bases for KP. That is down. Full count here to the Aggies leadoff hitter, who is one of the best catalysts in the SEC. Causes a bunch of trouble when she gets on base. Aggies trail early here, 1-0. That's hit well into center field. That'll back up Dibley a bit, and she'll make the catch for out number 1. Talon Edwards, the senior transfer to the plate. 357 hitter, 5th on the team. 4 homers, 28 runs driven in for her. It's a strike called on the inside corner. 0-1. Outside to Talon. Aggies coming off of a series win over Georgia. On the opener 3-2, lost the first of a Friday doubleheader 10-6 in a real sloppy game, and then they held off Georgia 2-1 in the final to take the series. 2-1 now the count to Talon as that was taken outside. Talon 1 for 6 with a run scored against Georgia. Found her way on base though, 3 walks in the series against the Bulldogs. Hughes, this one foul right side. Allen has actually had a hit in 6 of the Aggies' last 9 games, all SEC games. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Change up misses. In the river on the outside part, and the count is full, 3-2. It's hit well down the line and right. Home run distance by a ways, but pulled it well foul. And it counts 3-2. Speaking of home runs, the Aggies as a team, 55 on the season. Ranked 6th in the SEC. Foul on the left side. Another changeup from Williams. On pace, you know, we'll see how the pace plays out. The Aggies have 14 games left in the regular season as of today, including this game. They're on pace to hit 75 in the regular season. We'll see if they can keep that up. That would be the most in 10 seasons for an Aggie team. That's high, ball 4. Talon draws a walk. Second most walks on the team now with 28. That is exactly what you want to see out of your 2-hole hitter, especially when this kid comes to the plate. Here's Maya Perez, the All-American. 1-0 Cowgirls here in the bottom of the first. Maya on the season is hitting .449, 13 homers, 40 runs driven in. That ball is ripped to deep center field. That is way, way out of here. Off the building in center. I have been watching softball at this field for quite some time, and I've never seen a ball travel this far. Maya Perez, dead center and didn't miss it. Folks, you can barely see it on the TV. You see it kick off the building and hit at the base of the PDC out there behind that building. How about this? 304. 304 feet for Maya Perez. I've never seen a ball hit that far at this park. So just like that, the Aggies take the 2-1 lead. That is good to see for many reasons, the Aggies. Maya Perez had been, I say scuffling, but it's really, that's how good she is. You know, she's had 1 homer in her last 8 or 9 games and didn't miss that mistake pitch from Cadence Williams. I still can't get over the estimated distance on that. Wow. And was hunting first pitch as well. Fly ball into right field by Michaela Wark. And that is caught a few steps shy of the track by Dunham. That's out number 2.
Now then for your Aggies, the catcher, number 47, Ariel Kawaluski.
Here's Ariel Kawaluski, AK, the catcher, the sophomore. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. That home run for the Aggies, 56 on the year. Maya's 14th. Kayla has 16 to lead the team. Maya now 14. KK Dement has 6. Or actually, AK has 7 at the plate, and then KK has 6. It's high. 2-0 the count to AK. 400 hitter, even 400 on the year. 7 homers, as I said, 29 runs driven in. Been a very steady presence in this lineup pretty much all season long. 5-game hit streak for Ariel as she stands in. That's fouled off. AK 8 for 16 on the streak. Had 5 hits in the series over Georgia. Had 3 hits in the final 2 games at Texas the week before. 2-1 Aggies here in the bottom of the first inning. Floats a change up in that falls just below the knees, and it counts 3-1. Chopped up the middle, second baseman has it just to the right of the bag. Throw to first, not in time. AK beats it out. High chopper to Weeks, who was back on the lip of the grass, and that gave Ariel Kawaluski a chance to hustle, beat that out for a single. She backed up a bit to play the hop, and that's all AK needed to rack up the infield single, and that is hit number 47 of the season for Ariel. Here's KK Dement, the sophomore out of Selma, California. First pitch catches the outside corner at 59 miles an hour. KK a .304 hitter, 6 homers, 28 runs driven in. This one on popped up off the end of the bat right on top of second base. And Weeks will squeeze it about a step behind the bag for out number 3. But Maya Perez, with the longest home run that I have seen, maybe the longest home run ever hit at this park, has given A&M a 2-1 lead as we head to the second. Benzie Aggie Diamond Hour returns to Rudy's Barbecue here in College Station tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Michael Early will join Andrew Monaco. A couple of players are coming as well. I know Nico Partita's coming. I can't remember. We'll have to look and see. 2 of the players will come as well. 7 o'clock tomorrow night at Rudy's, the Aggie Diamond Hour back as he preview a rather big baseball series down the road at Blue Ball Park. Cotton Holdings Lone Star Showdown coming to Aggie Land. Our final softball show of the season will be Wednesday, April 29th. That is the day before the Oklahoma series, 6 o'clock, Wednesday, April the 29th. Tricia Ford and the Aggies will join us at Rudy, so come on out and mark your calendars. Join us as well. 2-1 Aggies as we head to the second. Sydney Peters back out in the circle, and she'll get Alexis Dibley. Time called as he'll step out of the box. Alexis Dibley, Miko Dominguez, and Jada Munoz. This is 5, 6, and 7 in the Cowgirl lineup to face Peters. Dibley, a junior out of Moss Bluff, Louisiana. Time called. She's having trouble with her comms unit. Aggies wear like a digi-wrist communication system there to signal it in. So Sydney's taking it off the wrist and walking over to the dugout. A lot of the teams use electronic communication. They will signal in. It's a one-way communication device. It'll signal what pitch she's looking to call. There's a look at Russ Heffley giving her a wrist as well. So a slight delay as they get this figured out and fixed. All right, I think we're good to go now. Dibley, Dominguez, and Munoz. Dibley, junior, on the year, a .291 hitter, 6 homers and 17 runs driven in. A lot of kids in this McNeese lineup can swing it. Much like the Aggies, really up and down the starting lineup. Most of the bats have the potential to be able to go deep. As ball misses high to Dibley, 1-0. Cowgirls have played an intense schedule, to say the least, out of conference play. That pitch misses, 2-0 the count. McNeese enters today with an RPI, ratings percentage index, one of the metrics the committee uses, at 31, which is insanely high at this point in the season for a team that's not in one of those Power 4 leagues. Deep fly ball, well foul into the Aggie bullpen there by Dibley. They are actually the 3rd highest non-Power 4 program in the RPI standings. Marshall in the Sun Belt sits at 25. Grand Canyon, you've heard of them if you follow softball, they're at 29. And then McNeese sits at 31 in the Southland Conference. They've already got 14 games this year against top 50 RPI teams. 3 and 1 as that one bounces in. Here's the thing, they've won 6 of them. We're going to go over some of the teams that McNeese has played and beaten this year, and we'll tell you why we have had this game circled since it got added on the calendar as a major trap game and a major challenge game for Texas A&M. 5-pitch walk. That one sails high and out of the zone as Peters overthrows that one. That's already her second walk of the game here with the first batter of the second inning. Ariel Kowalewski out to talk. It's one of the things the coaches have been really impressed with is Ariel behind the plate and her command of really the battery and then the command of the infield, as well as a kid who hadn't caught in 2 years and hadn't really caught in practices at all in the fall or spring until they put her back behind home plate. She is a natural catcher. That's what she played growing up. It's what she was recruited as at Florida. Strike one to Miko Dominguez. But you could see she knows when to go talk to her pitchers. She can calm them down, settle them down, have a conversation, and she will command the infield, will AK. Dominguez, a freshman out of O'Connor High in San Antonio. Here's the 0-1. Push bunt right side. It will land foul in the runner's lane. Picked up by Maya there, and the count's 0-2. Miko on the season, 268 hitter as she stands in. So, part of the growth of this, what I would call a young pitching staff, at least the ones that are getting the bulk of the innings, Peters, Lessentine, Tate Munnerlin as well, is your catcher. It's that confidence and that just kind of steady presence behind the plate. Outside, checked her swing. Ewald says did not go around, and the count's 1-2. Aggies up 2-1 on the strength of a massive home run by Maya Perez in the first inning. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Dominguez chased well off the plate. Third strikeout of the game already for Sydney Peters. That's the thing, you get ahead in the count there, you can force some of these hitters to swing at stuff they wouldn't normally swing at. That was well off the plate and up at the upper level of the zone, but Dominguez chased it. One down now. Here's Jada Munoz, the third baseman. Senior out of O'Connor High in San Antonio as well. High for a ball. Munoz on the year at .297 hitter, 5 homers. That is third on the team, 23 runs driven in. Pitch misses outside, 2-0. Swing and a miss, runners going, throw down, skips to the right of the bag and into shallow center field. That one tailed away from AK as it got past Talon Edwards. So in safe on the stolen base. So it was obviously either a hit and run or a protective swing there from Munoz as that ball was well off the plate. But it will get Dibley a stolen base. That's her 6th of the season. Told you they like to run. 63 now stolen bases for the Cowgirls. Swing and a miss on the rise. 2-2 the count now. Tying run out at second base for McNeese with 1 out here in the second inning. And on the hands, fouled that back to the screen. Talking again about McNeese's schedule strength and all the games they've played. This is an impressive spread in non-conference action for James Landreneau. They have split with Ole Miss, who the Aggies will play on Friday night. McNeese has beaten them. They split a doubleheader with them. 2-2. That one is high and a bit out of the zone. The count is full. They won a game at South Alabama. They have 2 wins over Missouri. They won 2 of 3 against the Big 12's Houston Cougars. They won 2 of 3 at Baylor, where the Aggies will be next week. This is all McNeese and their schedule this year. Foul back, so we'll stay at 3-2. they have also played Texas Tech. When Tech came here, if you remember that, early in the season, they opened the year at McNeese. So they played Texas Tech at home. They played LSU at home. They will go to LSU later in the year. So a lot of familiar power opponents on their schedule. There's a called strike 3 at the knees, painted the outside corner. Did Peters. That's 4 strikeouts now in the game for Sid. That's a perfect pitch there. And I can understand why Munoz didn't swing at it. It was right at the knees, right on the outside black. Very hard to do anything with that. 2 outs now. Here is Delaney Dunham, the right fielder. Half swing, check swing, went around, and that's a strike on a rise ball. Dunham is out of Barbers Hill High in Mont Bellevue, a senior, left-handed hitter, 185 on the year. This is just her 15th start. Has the tying run out at second with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on the rise, and quickly sit ahead in the count 0-2. Working quickly, 0-2. Tried to get her to chase. That rise a little too high, 1-2. So the Cowgirls with another Power 4 opponent on their schedule. Fouled off. And again, it's not that they're just coming over here to play a game. They're here to win, just like the Aggies are, but this game for McNeese will be a huge feather in the RPI cap. Some of the early bracketologies have started to come out with the publications. We'll go over one of those later. McNeese right now is the first 4 out of the tournament. So wins like this go a very long way for these programs. And the league's under the P4s. It's foul back. And on the flip side for A&M, you have a chance to pick up what's going to end up being probably a top 40, top 35, top 40 RPI win out of your league, which is a non-conference victory, and the committee tends to weight those pretty heavily. 1-2. Foul back. Two outs, 2-1 Aggies. McNeese has the tying run at second base here against Sydney Peters. Change up cue to the right side. Talon Edwards into the hole, has it, throws to first for out number 3. So the leadoff walk does not come back to bite the Aggies, who will take a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the second inning. Aggies are back home next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a huge SEC. They're all huge, right? All the SEC series are huge. Against number 15, I believe, Mississippi State. If it's an SEC team, they're probably ranked in the top 20. So they're 14, 15, somewhere up in there. Mississippi State features one of the best pitching staffs in the country coming in here next Friday night. 7:30 is the first game. That is a later start because of TV. Tickets available, 12man.com/softball tickets. Ball one outside to Kelsey Mathis, the Aggie center fielder, who will begin the second inning. 7, 8, 9 in the Texas A&M lineup. Kelsey, the sophomore, is going to be playing in her hometown next weekend in Waco against Baylor. .324 hitter this year, 3 homers, and 14 runs driven in. 2-0 now, and she has been hitting very well. Since the start of the month of March, there have only been 3 games that she has not gotten a hit. She has picked her batting average up from .208 at the start of March to now .324. Fly ball off the end of the bat into center field, and that is out number 1. It's been a very pleasant pickup in her offensive output as she has locked down that starting center fielder role. 1 down. That will bring up the sophomore Paisley Allen. Paisley, .261 hitter as she stands in. 3 homers, 14 runs driven in. One of those homers coming against her old team, Georgia, on Friday. They started with a changeup high for a ball. Paisley, 3 hits, including that home run in the series against the Bulldogs. Been the starting left fielder for the Aggies since, again, the start of the month of March. Change up strike. And one of the things that Paisley has really brought out there, and it's not her natural position, is defense. She's a natural infielder by trade. She has robbed 2 home runs that I can think of and made a couple of really nice plays, really nice throws from out there. She's done a nice job out there in left for A&M. Push bunt towards the circle. Picking it up and throwing to first is Williams for the out. Not an easy play with the speedy Paisley Allen running. Also credit the first baseman, Riley Cloud, for battling the hard sun. If you're watching with us on TV, you'll see that sun angle right from third to first. She's looking pretty much right into the sun as she makes that catch of the throw from the pitcher. So 2 down. And the first pitch to Frankie Vrajel is a ball. Aggies right fielder, sophomore out of Danbury, Texas. .344 hitter. Frankie, that's 6th on the team. 10 runs driven in, 5 stolen bases as well. Slaps this one foul on the left side. Aggies 16-3 here at Davis Diamond this year. They've done a nice job of protecting their home turf. 3 losses, number 1 Texas Tech, number 11 Georgia, and Louisiana. As that pitch misses. Aggies entering today, outscoring teams here at home 152-48. So not only have they hit well here, they have been able to quell some teams' offensive outputs too. 2-1, grounded right side. That's through for a base hit. Frankie Vrajel hit that one well and just pushed it right through the right side. And for Frankie, that is her 32nd hit of the season. Infield in. I don't think it would have mattered had the infield been playing back. Perfectly placed ball. 3rd hit of the game for Texas A&M. That'll turn over the lineup. And let's see if Jeff Harger and the Aggies maybe send a runner here. We'll see. Here's KP, flew out to center field in the 1st inning. And drives it into center field on a line, but it's right at Dibley, who is shaded just a bit towards that left center gap. Hard hit ball. That will end the 2nd inning. So nothing across for the Aggies. They'll leave a runner at first base, and we'll head to the 3rd, 2-1. Texas A&M leads McNeese.
Oh. 2-1 Aggies as we head to the third inning here at Davis Diamond. Late addition to the non-conference slate for both of these teams, and it's a big RPI opportunity for both. Here A&M 2-1, all 3 runs being scored in the first inning. McNeese scoring on a throwing error, cashing in a walk in the first, and the Aggies, after a 1-out walk, Maya Perez launching a 304-foot 2-run homer to center. Yeah, that's right. That's not a misspeak. 304 off the bat. And A&M leads it 2-1. So we head to the third. Cowgirls will bring up 9, 1, and 2. Riley Eister, Cassidy Chance, and Maddie Weeks. Sydney Peters, a bit of a heavy pitch load so far through the 2 innings. Has walked a couple of batters and struck out 4. 49 pitches. So Eister will lead it off. She is a senior out of South Haven, Mississippi. 286 hitter, just her 7th start of the year. 4 hits and 14 at-bats, a left-handed hitter. Runs up and slaps at that one and misses. A little bit behind on it for strike 1. Cowgirls coming off a tough weekend at home. They face the undefeated in Southland play, Southeastern Louisiana Lions. There's a swing and a miss. And were swept. They entered the series in 3rd place, but lost all 3 games. They played a doubleheader last Thursday. 4-0, 10-5 losses to Southeastern, and then 4-0 on Friday. That is down. They've been a bit streaky of late, have the Cowgirls. So, again, getting swept in that last series. The weekend before, they swept Incarnate Word. And then before that, they had a 5-game road swing where they lost all 5 games. So, lost 5, won 3, lost 3. It's fouled off on that road swing. They lost at Northwestern State. They were swept in league play at Nichols, and then they lost a midweek at Louisiana, a team that the Aggies split with earlier in the year here at Davis Diamond. There's a swing and a miss. That is strikeout number 5 for Sydney Peters.
Now that's for the shortstop, number 10, Cassidy Chance.
Another rise ball. Sydney's rise ball is looking good today. And it's starting about, if you're watching on TV, you can see it. It's starting a little bit above the belt and coming in by the time it gets to the catcher. It's just at maybe a little below, a little bit above the letters. So it's a really challenging pitch. Strike 1 to Cassidy Chance, who struck out in the first. That is one of her real go-to pitches for Sydney Peters. Tends to work more up in the zone for sure. Foul back. Counts 0-2. Back to McNeese, as we were talking about kind of their recent road. They currently sit in 6th place in the Southland Conference. Southeastern Louisiana is in 1st. Lamar, UIW, Nichols tied for 3rd, and then Northwestern State right in front of McNeese. 0-2. Changeup taken low. But they've got a chance here of late to really go on a run. If you look at James Landreneau's squad and his remaining series, the last 4 series that McNeese will play in Southland play are all the teams behind them, starting with this weekend at Corpus. 1-2. Line drive just past the glove of KK DeMen into left center field. Kelsey Mathis with a quick stop. Gets the throw in, head first slide, safe. Cassidy Chance in safe. It was a good defensive play by Mathis, just getting to the ball. She kind of went down, slid, grabbed it, and popped up and made a throw. We'll get a look on the replay here. It's a heck of a defensive play. Just quick turn throw. And Chance just able to get in there for the double. And for Cassidy Chance, that will be her 5th double of the season. That'll bring up Maddie Weeks, who walked and scored the Cowgirls' run on an error in the first inning. Strike on the outside corner to the right-handed hitting second baseman. 2-1 A&M. Tying run again at second base. 1 out here in the third. outside corner, 0-2. So again, McNeese is remaining 4 series. All the 4 teams behind them in the Southland standings. Corpus, they'll have 2 home series back-to-back, Houston Christian and SFA, and then they'll close at East Texas A&M. And the Southland Conference has a very interesting championship format. The 0-2. Fly ball to left. Paisley Allen will back up a bit. Now come in, take a couple steps, quickly get it in. That will hold the runner at second base. Perfectly played fly ball there for Paisley. That is out number 2 here in the 3rd. Riley Cloud to the plate. She's 0 for 1. Their championship actually takes place over 2 weekends. So there's 10 softball playing teams. 8 make the tournament, as James Landreneau calls time to talk to his hitter. And what they do is they break the bracket into 2 brackets. So the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed both host double elimination 4-team pods. So this is the end of April, first weekend of May. So your number 1 seed will host 4 teams. Your number 2 seed will host 4 teams. Double elimination, and there will be a team coming out of each pod, obviously. And the higher of those 2 teams, seed-wise, will host the next weekend. Ball's outside, snap throw down to second. The runner gets back in. So 2 teams out of those pods the next weekend, which coincides with the Aggies in the SEC tournament. The higher seed will host a best-of-3 series, and that team gets the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. The pitch misses, 2-0. Last year, McNeese was one of those 2 host sites, swept through their pod, and then hosted Southeastern Louisiana in the championship series, won the first game, lost the last 2, and Southeastern got the bid to the NCAA tournament. 2-0 off the end of the bat into right field. Frankie Brajel moving over a bit, makes the catch. And that is out number 3. So a 2-out double will stay there. And we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Aggies 2, McNeese 1 here at Davis Diamond. Aggie Track and Field will host the 44 Farms Team Invitational right behind us at the E.B. Cushing Stadium. Tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, 12band.com/track tickets. Get your seats for that this weekend. Talon Edwards, Maya Perez, Michaela Wark due up here. Face Cadence Williams, who has made 1 mistake. It was a big one. It was a 2-run homer to Maya. Other than that, she's kept the Aggies pretty much at bay. Time called as Cadence steps off the rubber. Talon walked and scored on the Maya home run. First pitch is a ball. This is the 37th time these 2 teams have met. If you're not familiar with the geography, probably 3.5, 4 hours away. McNeese is located in Lake Charles, just across the state line. Lined up the middle, just under the glove of the second baseman Weeks and into center field. Talon gets the 4th hit of the game for Texas A&M. And for her, that is going to be hit number 36 of the season. Here's Maya Perez, who delivered a 304-foot home run to dead center field on the first pitch she saw in that first inning. That was her 14th of the year. First pitch outside for a ball. That's outside, 2-0. Maya homered in each of the first 2 games at LSU, and since then, so that's 5, 6, 11 games, not including today, she had only homered once. She homered against Sam Houston, as teams have been walking her like crazy, and she's just been a little bit off, but not in that first inning today. 3-0, as that one's outside and low. So that's good to see. As, that was easily probably her longest home run, if you want to call it a drought. She did hit one, but she hadn't homered in her last 6 games before tonight. Yeah, they were pretty much pitching around her there. It's been something we have seen a lot of over the last 3 weeks. The old unintentional, intentional walk. Second walk of the game for Cadence Williams. Now she's got a problem. 2 on, nobody out for Michaela Wark, the Aggies' home run leader. Mick flew out to right field in the first inning. Takes a change up low. The students down on the end of the Aggie dugout doing the ball chant there. There they are. Carried that tradition over from Bluebell. Ground ball right side, right at the second baseman, took a hop on her, a funny one, and everybody's safe. Weeks let the ball come to her, and it took a goofy hop right at the end, skipped right off her chest, landed in the runner's lane. Maya was able to get around her and the ball to get in at second. Everybody's safe, and the bases are now loaded.
Now batting for the Aggies, the catcher number 47, Ariel Kawaluski.
That'll be the first error of the game for McNeese. Now they're 47th of the season. And they've set themselves up with a world of hurt here. James Landreneau out to talk with his defense here. It's the Aggies with a 2-1 lead and a golden chance here to blow this one open with Ariel Kawaluski at the plate, who is 1 for 1. Error by Weeks, by the way, is going to be her 3rd of the season. Hit with a little pace. It was hit in the low 70s, but that's a tailor-made double play ball, especially with Maya Perez going to second. And the mistake Weeks made was letting the ball come to her instead of going to get it. So here's AK. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ball into center field. That's a base hit. 1 run scores. He'll stop Maya at third base. First pitch swinging, Ariel Kawaluski drives in run number 30 of the year. It's 3-1. Just above the knees, middle to outer half of the plate, and Ariel rips it into center. So now Maya's at third, Mick's at second, and AK's at first for KK DeMint. And this might be it for Cadence Williams. James Landreneau out of the dugout looking down at his bullpen. He's got Kinley Chapman warming up down there. Let's see who they're going to bring in. Also got the DP, Maddie Taylor, throwing down there as well. And we'll have a pitching change for the Cowgirls. Yeah, there's the DP, Maddie Taylor, coming into the game. So we'll take a break and give you the numbers on her when we come back. Aggies up 3-1 here in the 3rd inning over McNeese. New pitcher for the McNeese Cowgirls. Just kidding. I saw Taylor. I should have looked at the number a little better. Brooklyn Taylor, freshman out of Liberty, Texas, into pitch. Team best 8-6 record, 3.56 earned run average. So Brooklyn Taylor into the game. She is their go-to. 4 saves, 84 and 2/3 innings. That leads the team. 57 strikeouts leads the team. Opponents hitting 275 against Brooklyn Taylor. So Brooklyn, last outing for her was in game 2 on Thursday in the loss to Southeastern Louisiana. 3 2/3, 9 hits, 6 runs. And she'll inherit the bases loaded and nobody out for KK Dement. 0 for 1 in the game. In on her, missed her. Popped out of the glove of the catcher, rolled up the third base line. It's a ball. KK just stood there. The ball almost got her jersey. It counts 1 ball and no strikes. This year with the bases loaded, KK Dement 4 for 9 with 2 doubles and a grand slam. 3-1 Aggies, nobody out here in the third. Run home, change up low. Brooklyn Taylor, no stranger to some big moments against some P4 teams this year. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Dominguez. 5 shutout innings and a win over Houston. Complete game, 1 run, 6 hits over Missouri. Got the win in that one and got the save in Waco over Baylor in a 5-4 victory. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. We've mentioned it a couple times already. This McNeese team has played a loaded non-conference schedule, so all these kids have a lot of experience against some big programs. So this is nothing new for them. 2-2 pitch to KK Dement. Flare down the line and right, and that is fair. That'll score 1. They're going to send Michaela Wark around. She will score. Double KK Dement. 5-1 Aggies. Too much of the white on the outer half, and KK dropped it in front of the right fielder down the line a bit. That easily scored Maya and Mick. And for Dement, that's RBIs 29 and 30 on the season. Second and third, nobody out. Here's Kelsey Mathis, infield in now for the Cowgirls as the Aggies have opened this one up a bit. 5-1 the new score, 3 runs home in the inning. And the first pitch is a changeup off the plate for ball 1. Fly ball right center field. That is carrying. That's deep. Back at the fence. Off the glove of the center fielder. Dibley drops it on the track. Mathis racing around to third. She's in safely. 2 runs home on a ball that Dibley needs to catch, even though she had to chase it down in the gap. Aggies take it 7-1. We'll see how they score that one. Got up in the wind a bit. Dibley chased it back to the track, got it, but lost it right as she stepped onto the track. 2 runs home for the Aggies. That is going to be a triple. 2 runs in, so Kelsey Mathis with the triple. First of the season, 4th for the Aggies, who have opened up a 6-run lead. And for Kelsey, the 2 RBI coming home, 15 and 16. First pitch is a strike called to Paisley Allen. So in this inning, the first 6 batters have reached. The first 5 have scored. The 6th is standing out 60 feet away at third base. Paisley 0 for 1 on bunt attempt back in the 2nd inning. Infield still in for McNeese. Nobody out, as I said. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2. Single, walk, error, single, 2-run double, 2-run triple for Texas A&M. is a called strike 3 on a pitch inside there as Paisley's called out. That is out number 1 here in the third. Brooklyn Taylor just getting the inside black on that. Nice pitch from her. That is out number 1. Here's Frankie, infield in. First pitch is down and out of the zone. Frankie singled through the right side in the second inning, so she's 1 for 1. 7 hits in the game, 7 runs for Texas A&M. 1 out here in the bottom of the third, 5 runs home in the frame. Strike on the outside corner. Book is closed on the starter, Cadence Williams. 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs. 5 of those earned, 2 walks, 45 pitches. Bunt, right side, a little safety squeeze, run will score. Catcher Dominguez will throw out Frankie Vrajel. Perfectly executed safety squeeze there as Mathis comes home. It's 8-1. Rolled it just up the first base line from the left-handed batter's box. Couldn't have thrown it there better. So an RBI for Frankie. Slapped onto the net for strike 1. This is the 9th batter to the plate here in this inning. Kennedy Powell, who's 0 for 2 today. KP has been on base every game this season. Reached base in all 38 games for Texas A&M. Slap foul onto the net above the Aggie dugout. Counts 0-2. Ran numbers early in the year. I don't have them updated, but something like when she gets on to begin an inning, she scores well over 60% of the time, which is pretty incredible stat there. It's outside for a ball. And it's not just obviously all the work she's doing. That's a huge part of it, but the players behind her and the pressure she puts on the defense on those base paths and always trying to force the issue, always trying to take extra bags. That is down 2-2. Saw her do that several times over the weekend against Georgia where she stretched singles into doubles. And on the hands, just got a piece of that, did KP. It came back, it might have got our home plate umpire. I think he's all right. Yeah, catcher checking on him. 2-2 the count, base is empty. 6 runs home for the Aggies here in the third. Two. Pop foul here on the left side.
Nice catch, and to take home courtesy of the Dixie Ticket.
Chop to the right side. First baseman has it. Race to the bag. Diving to the bag with the glove is Cloud to beat KP by a step for out number 3. But 6 runs home for the Aggies, and we'll head to the 4th. 8-1. Texas A&M leads McNeese.
Becca is representing the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuits, and Tanner is representing the fries. The rules are very simple. We'll watch the expanded 100 menu items race. The contestant is representing the
Eight to 1 Aggies leading McNeese as we head to the top half of inning number 4 here at Davis Diamond. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Wednesday evening. Beautiful evening. Temps in the high 70s. Hardly any clouds in the sky. A light breeze blowing out to left field. We're supposed to have good weather this weekend in Oxford too, knock on wood, for that series. 6 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock on Saturday, and 1 o'clock on Sunday. You'll be able to catch all of them here on SEC Network Plus, and then also you can listen to them here on Willie 1550 locally and inside the 12th Man mobile app. 2 defensive changes. Actually, no, we're going to have multiple defensive changes here for the Aggies. Let's start in the circle. Grace Sparks in the game to pitch, the senior out of Dayton, Texas. Sparks enters the game 3-0 with a 2.37 earned run average. There's a look at Grace, who's had a couple of nice outings of late. I'll get to that as the inning works its way through here. Behind her now at shortstop is our left fielder, Paisley Allen. So Paisley Allen coming into the game to play shortstop, or not into the game, into the infield, excuse me, to play shortstop as she comes in from left field. So Paisley in at short. There's a look at Paisley Allen. Another change in the outfield. That means it's probably going to be Maddie Sawney. Maddie's out there. I suspect she's going to be in left field. Maddie Sawney is standing out in the middle of the field. She will be in left field. We saw her play the outfield over the weekend. Georgia? Yeah, she started the, she came in relief and played a few innings in right. There's Maddie. What a catalyst she's been off the bench for Texas A&M. So Maddie Sawney is going to be in left. She has not played there all season. Paisley Allen at short. And a new catcher for Texas A&M is Grayson Coleman, the senior of Hanford, California. So mixing up some defense here for the Aggies with an 8-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. I don't think we've seen Paisley at short this year. I think we've seen her at second a few times late. Strike 1 from Grace to Maddie Taylor, the DP. This is the cleanup hitter. Go over Grace's outings of late here in just a sec. And Maddie Sawney, for sure, I've not seen her in left field this year. She played right, as that pitch is outside. Played right field in, it was the final game. She came in to pinch hit and then stayed in the game for a few innings in right. So she's out in left. And Paisley, I don't think we've seen her at short at all for sure. Fouled off 1 and 2. She can play the infield. This is her natural area. It counts 1 and 2 to Maddie Taylor, who's 0 for 1 in the ball game. So Sparks, there's a couple of outings to really, I think, build on for her, and she's heading back to her old school in Ole Miss this weekend. That'll be an interesting reunion there back at Oxford. Last 2 outings for Grace. Let's start with the most recent against Georgia in the first game in the Aggies' 10-6 loss. 1 inning, no hits and a walk in that loss. So that was a pretty good outing for her, getting some ground balls and getting some outs. It's outside, 2 and 2. Before that, in the Sunday game against Texas, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, no runs at #1 Texas in a game the Aggies end up winning 9-7. So 2 really good outings, I think, back to back. And Tricia Ford's talked about that with us too. It's fouled off. And again, it's finding your role and what will help, what you can do to help the team win games. And you know, we're not necessarily asking Grace to throw 3, 4, 5 innings. I mean, she can do it if you need it, but you know, can you come in and get us some big outs in critical situations? And so I like this move here to get her some innings. 2-2. That's high, and the count is full. He's up 8-1 here in the top of the 4th. Grounded left side in the hole. Of course, it goes toward Paisley, and it gets past her into left field. So a single through the left side, excuse me, by Maddie Taylor. No chance for Paisley to get to that one. And she's got a big smile on her face out there. But yeah, they put me in the game, and the first ball gets hit to me. Cowgirls are going to go to the bench and get a pinch runner. It'll be Adriana Morelos, a sophomore out of Kingsville. One of 11 Texans on this roster. And now Dibley to the plate, who walked in the second inning. There's Morelos. 22nd appearance of the year, 3 stolen bases. 8-1 Aggies. Outside and low, ball 1. So again, resetting the defense for you. That's Grayson Coleman behind the plate. Kennedy Powell, Paisley Allen at short. Kennedy Powell at third. Paisley at short. Talon Edwards and Maya Perez on the right side. That has not changed. Strike called on the inside corner. Maddie Sawney is in left, first time this season. Center fielder and right fielder still the same, Kelsey Mathis and Frankie Vragel. And you can see specifically about Sawney finding a spot for this kid. There's a strike called, 1 and 2. She is a catcher by trade, is Sawney. But, you know, obviously learning how to play this position at this level is a much different thing than playing it in club and travel ball and all that. And so work her in the outfield. Her bat is red hot right now. Fly ball left side that'll carry into the bullpen. Sparks ready, 1-2. Outside and low, 2 and 2. Grace will work down in the zones, got good speed changes, and she's not, she can strike out batters. It's not really her MO. She's just under a strikeout an inning, but she's a ground ball pitcher. And you saw she got the ground ball, it just got through the hole to the first hitter. There's a swing and a miss, though, right as I say that. She says, here, I'm just going to strike this one out. Chased a pitch off the plate. Grace gets the strikeout. That's the 6th strikeout by an Aggie pitcher today. 1 down here in the 4th, and an 8-1 Aggie lead. Here's Miko Dominguez, the catcher, struck out against Sydney Peters in inning number 2. Outside, ball 1. Sydney Peters, by the way, the starter for the Aggies. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 unearned run. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. She threw 66 pitches in those 3 innings. That pitch misses outside, 2-0. Sparks, 2 years in Oxford for Ole Miss. Last year was her first season as an Aggie, so year 2 here, and then we'll head back. Face her team this weekend. Ball 3 outside. I think Ole Miss came here last year, right? Did they come here last year, Ole Miss? 2 years ago. All runs together, man. 3-0 pitch. Strike called. Runners going. High throw over Talon Edwards. Backed up nicely by Paisley Allen. It'll be a stolen base for Morelos. So 3 stolen bases in the game for McNeese. And a 3-1 count on the hitter, Miko Dominguez. Ball 4. Missed in on the hands. A&M has now walked a batter in the 1st, 2nd, and now 4th inning. 2 on, 1 out for Jada Munoz, the 3rd baseman, who struck out in the 2nd. He's just 2 hits in this game, but I told you they're a 300 hitting team. 53 doubles, 38 homers, and now 64 stolen bases. They will put pressure on you offensively. Aggies will pull the corners in just a tad here with Munoz at the plate. And starts her with a strike in her half at the knees. Grace looking for a double play ball here. Talon Edwards, 2nd. Shaded closer to the bag. Grounded to the shortstop. Paisley Allen juggles it for a second, gets it to Talon. for one. Throw to first is not in time. So fielded perfectly clean. That's probably a double play, but it looks like it kind of stuck in her glove just for a split second, and that was enough for Munoz to beat the relay throw. Dominguez is out. The second out of the inning. First pitch is a strike to the left-handed hitting Delaney Dunham, who's 0 for 1 in the game. Runner at first and third now. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. In the bottom half, the Aggies are going to have up 2, 3, and 4. Soft liner right into the glove of Kennedy Powell, a few steps in front of the bag. At third for out number 3. So Grace Sparks comes in, walks the batter, gives up a hit, but keeps the Cowgirls off the scoreboard. Bottom of the 4th, 8-1, Texas A&M. Eight-1 Aggies as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. I believe we have a couple of changes for the Cowgirls of McNeese. I know we have a new pitcher. I thought he signaled somewhere else. Take a look. That's all the one I see for now. They'll let us know if there's another one. Kinley Chapman, sophomore out of Willis, Clennon Community College product. 5-5, 4.07 earned run average for Chapman. 2 saves as well, 67 innings, second most on the team, 79 hits. Opponents hitting .297 against Chapman, third pitcher of the game for McNeese. Talon, Maya, and Michaela do up 2, 3, and 4 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Strike one to Talon, who's had a nice day. She's been on both times, walked and singled, and has scored both times. Now 31 runs scored by Talon, second most on the team behind just KP. Outside, 1-1. Kinley Chapman has a complete game win over Baylor on the road on her resume this year, back in late February. Changeup spins in high. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs against the Bears. Aggies, as we told you, will be in Waco 1 week from right now. And then she also beat Missouri in late February, 6 1/3, 8 hits, 3 runs. So 2 big wins on her resume in the circle. Talon Edwards, deep left center field, and that one hits the very top of the fence. And she'll trot into second base, missed a home run by about a foot, and a leadoff double for the Aggie second baseman. Sailed that one into the left center gap. That hit a foot, maybe a foot and a half, just off the top of the fence. That is hit number 8 of the day for Texas A&M. Talon will get pinch run for here. Looks like Haley Golden. Yep, Goldie's going to come in and run. And the junior out of Pearland will make appearance number 29 of the season. 12 runs scored, 5 stolen bases. So Maya to the plate, and that's a big run out there if you're A&M. you have a very short week with a travel day tomorrow and then games starting Friday on the road in the SEC. If you don't have to play any more innings, get out of here in 5. So that run out at second would set up the possibility of a run rule in the bottom, or in the top, I guess I should say, of the 5th, and McNeese's next at bat. So Maya Perez to the plate. 2-run homer in the first and a walk, scored a run in the third. 8-1 Aggies, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's see what McNeese does with her here. Yeah, they're probably going to walk her. Catcher set up outside. That's a ball. This happened in the 3rd inning. It ended up opening up a 6-run inning for Texas A&M, where the Aggies got the first batter, Talon, on, and then they walked Maya Perez. This time, obviously, there's a base open. 2-0. In the 3rd inning, it was just a single, and then they walked Maya unintentionally, intentionally, and that pushed a run to second base. Three and 0. Mentioned earlier we were going to talk about a little bracketology and kind of why these games matter. They all matter, obviously, but this one for both teams will carry some good RPI points, as A&M sitting at 18 in the latest RPI. As Maya is walked, and she'll trot down to first, and she'll get pinch run for. McNeese sitting at 31. And again, the pundits and the news outlets are starting to come up with their bracketologies. We still got a month to play, but it's just interesting to take a look at it, as Ansley Gross is going to come in and run for Maya. Ansley, the freshman, trotting down to first base, is making her 21st appearance of the season. There's Ansley, 6 stolen bases. So 2 on, nobody out for Michaela Wark, who is 0 for 2 in the game with a run scored. So again, bracketology, D1 softball put theirs out this week. A&M is a number 2 seed in the field, a 2 in a regional, so they would not in this projection host, but pitches a strike. They're seeding 1 to 32 this year. So in the years past, they would just seed 1 to 16 and kind of place the 2 seeds. Now they're trying to make it more of a balanced 2 seed sort of bracket. The Aggies folks are right on the cusp of hosting. Outside 1-1, which is impressive based off what they did early in the year when they played a good schedule. They just didn't beat any of those teams except for Duke. But the Aggies' schedule strength has climbed just steadily, slowly throughout the last month. Their RPI has climbed slowly, steadily over the last month as well. 1-1. That one misses just off the plate inside. 2-1 to Michaela Wark. So this bracketology projection has the Aggies as the number 17 overall seed. That means they would be the first seed to not host a regional. Well, why do I bring that up? It just talks about what's ahead for the Aggies. It's outside. This weekend at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is right next to A&M in the RPI. Next week, Mississippi State. They are above A&M in the RPI. South Carolina after that is a little bit below, but not too far below A&M. And then Oklahoma, we know where they sit. Now that's your last 4 SEC series. 3-1, that's ball 4 as that misses inside. So A&M in this projection, as the bases are now loaded for Grayson Coleman. A&M would be the first team to not host. This projection has them going to the 15 seed. That would be Virginia Tech in this projection. And of course, I don't even have to tell you where that pairs up with, right? I mean, you guys know. The 15 would pair with the 2. If the Aggies are in the pile, who would be the 2? That would, of course, be the Texas Longhorns, because, you know, that's how it rolls. Here's Grayson, first at bat of the game, and she'll take a pitch high for a ball. The senior out of Hanford, California, on the season is 2 for 9 at the plate, has walked 8 times, and has driven in a run. Bases loaded, nobody out. Infield in for Grayson. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. It has been a bit since I think she's gotten an at-bat. Take a quick look here. Grayson's last at-bat came against Sam on March the 24th. Before that, it was March the 6th. Strike call, belt high on the inner half. The count's now 1-2. So again, the bracketology prediction, the Aggies currently seeded as a 2 seed in a regional, being on the road, but a couple of good weekends, and the Aggies will be right there in the mix. I mean, they are in the mix right now to host, really, but they would be even more so with some series wins. Inside and low, 2-2 the count. In this projection, every single SEC team is in the field, including Kentucky. 9 SEC teams were projected to host. So 9 of the 16 regionals in this projection, SEC hosts. Outside, count is full, 3-2 to Grayson. Maddie Sawney waiting on deck. 3-2 pitch. Way outside, and another bases loaded walk for Grayson Coleman. And that is that 9th run that the Aggies needed, 9-1, as Grayson drives in her 2nd of the season. That'll move Ansley to 3rd, Michaela to 2nd, and in to score is Haley Golden. And James Landreneau out to talk with his pitcher, and he's going to make a change here for the Cowgirls. So they'll go to their 4th pitcher of the game. And we'll take a break and bring you the numbers on the new arm after this. Aggies up 9-1 with the bases loaded here in the 4th.
Your attention please, the new pitcher for McNeese, number 11, Ryan Schexnayder.
New pitcher for the Cowgirls, Ryan Schexnayder. Schexnayder is a senior out of Walker. 1-0 with a 6.46 ERA. 12th appearance, only her 3rd appearance in the last month. Last outing came March the 21st against Nichols. Is one of the veterans on this team. This is her 85th career appearance for the Cowgirls. She will inherit the bases loaded and nobody out. 9-1 Texas A&M lead, and she will face Maddie Sawney, the freshman out of Laie, Hawaii. Sawney on the season, a .292 hitter, 2 homers and 10 runs driven in, and she has been fire hot off the bench for Texas A&M. Last 3 appearances at the plate, all via pinch hits, all delivers. RBI single against Georgia on Thursday. RBI double against Georgia on Friday. Another RBI single for Georgia in the final game of that series, and she'll foul the first pitch back for a strike. And you talk with Tricia Ford and the Aggie coaching staff. They've known this kid forever. They love her energy. They love her emotion and what she brings to the team, and really credit her as a freshman for not pouting when she lost the opportunity to start behind the plate. She just kept her head down, worked hard, and really was the ultimate teammate. And it's just really cool to see the game pay her back. A 1 pitch, jam foul on the right side. In fact, I was talking with Sydney Peters after the game. It must have been the last game on Friday. Asked her about Sawney because Maddie delivered what was the game-winning hit in that game, and she said she is maybe the best teammate she's ever played with, which is a strong statement. coming from a kid who's played a lot of travel ball and now 3 years of college. 0-2 waste pitch outside. Sawney had a homer, 3 hits, and a win over Oklahoma State. She had a heck of a Clearwater Invitational, 7 hits in that 5-game stretch. That's lined into left field, right at the left fielder, Eister. Runner will come home and score without a throw as Ansley Gross crosses the plate with the Aggies' 10th run. So a sac fly and another productive at-bat for Maddie Sawney as she lines that one to left field. That was out number 1 here in the 4th. The Aggies lead now 9. So here's Mathis. 2-run triple in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 in the game. First and second, 1 out. Spins that one high at 48 miles an hour. Inning began with a double by Talon Edwards, a walk to Maya Perez, a walk to Michaela Wark, a walk to Grayson Coleman. Brought in a run and then a sac fly by Maddie Sawney. That accounts for the 2 runs. Off speed, catches the outside corner, 1-1. Bends that one in just below the knees. Schneider ready. Here's the pitch. That's high. Now the count's 3 balls and 1 strike to Kelsey Mathis. On deck is Paisley Allen. Aggies on the road this weekend. Leave tomorrow. Leave early afternoon. We'll land in Oxford and practice tomorrow night at the new Ole Miss softball stadium. And then the series begins on Friday night. Kelsey fouls this one off right side. Counts full. Ole Miss, little scouting report on them, 26-15. They are just 2-10 in conference play. That is tied for second to last. But, and a big but here, their SEC schedule before this weekend has been nothing short of insane, and who they've had to play. 3-2, fouled off. Home series against Alabama, they were swept. Home or a road series at the defending national champs, Texas, they were swept. Home series, Oklahoma, they're pretty good. They were swept there as well. Then they, after all that, went on the road and took 2 of 3 from number 4 Tennessee 2 weeks ago. Mathis, right center field. That is carrying. That hits the very, very top of the fence and stays in. 1 run scores. Kelsey Mathis can't hit it any further without it getting out of the park here. Second extra base hit of the night, 11-1 Aggies. That ball just, I mean, it hit the top of the pad. It actually hit one of the seams between pads right at the top of that and almost kind of stuck up there. Wark scored on the play and Grayson to third. Infield in, Paisley Allen, who is 0 for 2, fouls this one back for a strike. So again, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee on their schedule so far. Again, a lot of sweeps you heard in there, but they've played 12 games. 7 of them in SEC play have been decided by 3 runs or less. So it's going to be a dogfight for A&M, no question, in Oxford this weekend. It's outside, 1-1. Ole Miss 19 in the latest RPI. So despite a 2-10 conference record, they are number 19 in the RPI. Their strength of schedule right now in the entire country, 2, behind only Nebraska. 1-1 pitch, a changeup swung on and missed. So A&M and Ole Miss this weekend, 6 o'clock on Friday night, 2 o'clock on Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday. And then we're back here just for a couple days. We'll head to Waco a week from tonight for a midweek and then host Mississippi State. That's high. 2-2. Baylor, let me see where Baylor was in the RPI because they're up there as well. I don't think they're as high as McNeese, but they're in the general ballpark. And again, that's a road opportunity for A&M next weekend. 2-2. Paisley pops it up, foul territory right side. First baseman moving over and makes the catch. Cloud past, but not too far past the coach's box here on the right side. That is out number 2. Oh yeah, Baylor's right next to McNeese. So McNeese is 31, Baylor's 32 in the latest RPI. So right there, and that's next week. That's a 6:30 first pitch at Getterman Stadium. So here is Frankie. Fly ball to left field. This should end the inning, and it does. That is out number 3. But the Aggies do add 3 runs. And that's exactly what you needed. You got yourself some breathing room. Now you need just 3 more outs to head home early in this one. 11-1, Texas A&M over McNeese as we head to the 5th. Fans, the Aggie Diamond Hour returns tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Rudy's here in College Station, 7 p.m. Aggie head coach Michael Early. Aggie baseball will talk about a big series coming up as the Aggies host the Texas Longhorns. Again, the Aggie Diamond Hour at Rudy's. Nico Partita, Clayton Freshcorn scheduled to join coach, so make plans to be at Rudy's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for the Aggie Diamond Hour with our host Andrew Monaco. Our last version of the Aggie Diamond Hour, Aggie softball version, will be on April the 29th. That's a Wednesday. That's the day before the OU series, the final home series of the regular season. 6 o'clock Wednesday, April 29th. Mark your calendars. Tricia Ford will join me at Rudy's. We'll bring several of the players as well. You can meet and greet, and we'll talk about the season to that point and the upcoming series with OU. That is the Aggie Diamond Hour at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. All right, Grace Sparks and the Aggies need just 3 outs to put this one in the books. Aggies 11 runs, 9 hits in the game, 1 error. McNeese 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. McNeese scored the first run of the game, and A&M has scored the last 11. And Sparks will get 9, 1, and 2 in the McNeese lineup. One defensive change for the Aggies as we head to this 5th inning. It's at second base, and it will be number 00, Piper White. White, the freshman out of Alamo, Tennessee, will make her 15th appearance of the year. We have seen Piper, there she is. When she has come in games late, it has been at second base. So Piper in at second, as the Aggies getting a little bit of defensive practice in a live game situation here, since you were able to open up the score. And look, there's a lot of benefits when you have the ability to invoke a run rule. It obviously shortens the game, right? But if you could do it earlier in the game like the Aggies did here in the 3rd inning, what it does is it allows you to tinker with some stuff, some things you've been working on in practice. For example, Maddie Sawney out in left field, Paisley Allen at shortstop, and some of those type of things. It's all these little, as Tricia Ford talks about, these things in the toolbox to kind of get that practice. All right, here we go. Riley Eister will lead it off. She is 0 for 1 in the ball game. Sparks, 1 inning, 1 hit of work, came in the fourth. First pitch is a strike in the outside corner. That pitch is called a strike, up and in. I think our home plate ump is ready to hit the house. That pitch did not look like it was over the zone, but the TrackMan says it was, so credit Matt behind the plate for making that call. Pitch is down and out, 1 and 2. We haven't seen a lot of pitches come up and into lefties. That's probably why we thought that. These two teams have not played since 2021. I don't think Tricia said she didn't think she's ever played McNeese as a head coach. That's outside, 2 and 2. Well, they know the coaching staffs, obviously, from recruiting trails and whatnot. They just don't remember ever playing them. Grounded foul right side. That last meeting in 2021 came at Cowgirl Diamond in Lake Charles. The Aggies picked up a game on the way to Mackenzie Herzog threw a no-hitter in that one, actually. This is McNeese's first trip to Davis Diamond since 2020. That was low, 3 and 2. And I mentioned it earlier, McNeese played in the very first regional that this facility ever hosted in 2018. When the Aggies with a 15 seed and hosted here at Davis. And it's up and in, ball 4 to Riley Eister. So leadoff walk here from Grace Sparks. McNeese actually beat Baylor in the opener of that regional. A&M ended up beating McNeese in the second game. So the Cowgirls picked up a regional win here in the first regional ever at Davis Diamond. So here is Cassidy Chance, who is 1 for 2 in the game. Doubled into left center field in her last at bat. First pitch is low, ball 1. Sydney Peters, assuming the Aggies can close this out in 5, will get the win. She went 3 innings, 1 hit. Grace Sparks trying to finish off the final 2 innings of this one. That's a strike. Cued foul. Cowgirls from here will head, I'm assuming tomorrow, will head to Corpus Christi. They will play a 4 p.m. Friday game against Corpus, and then a noon doubleheader on Saturday before they head home for what's going to be a really big 7-game homestand, 6 of which are Southland Conference games. Grounded slowly left side. KP has it at third, throws to second for 1. And that's all the Aggies will get there. Lead out retired, 1 down here in the 5th. Piper, good little arm on her over there at second base. I'm good to see her make a lot of throws. That's a good little strong throw, but ball was hit too slow to be a double play. Here's Maddie Weeks, 0 for 1 in the game. Scored McNeese's only run after a walk in the first. Strike 1 called right down the pipe. 11-1 Aggies looking for 2 outs here in the 5th. So the Cowgirls, as you said, will be in Corpus this weekend. Next week, it's a midweek conference home series. There's a swing and a miss. Houston Christian, HCU, coming to Lake Charles. Tuesday, the 14th, is McNeese's next home game at 6 o'clock, and then a doubleheader on the 15th. And then that weekend, SFA comes to Cowgirl Diamond. Fly ball left field. Chasing Maddie Sani back and makes the catch as she takes a step onto the track and gets a loud ovation from her teammates in the dugout and a high five from Kelsey Mathis. That's out number 2. Rarely do you see Maddie Sonny without a smile on her face. Really has a lot of fun playing the game. 2 outs. Here's Riley Cloud. Last chance for McNeese to keep this one going. She is 0 for 2 in the contest. Strike called. Again, for those of you on the radio side tonight, stay tuned following the game. We'll head down to the dugout and visit with Tricia Ford, get her thoughts on this one as the Aggies get ready to head on the road to Ole Miss. Drop ball misses, 1 ball, 1 strike to Cloud, the 3-hole hitter in the McNeese lineup. One pitch. Misses outside. 2-1 to the Cowgirls first baseman. Aggies 2 runs in the first, 6 in the third, 3 more in the fourth to build this 10-run lead. 2-1. That's a strike in her half at the knees. Grace Sparks now a strike away from ending this one. 2-2 the count. Grounded at third. KP knocks it down, stays with it, throws to first in time to get Cloud, and that will do it for the Aggies. 11-1 win in 5 innings for the Aggies, who improved to 27-12 on the season. The Cowgirls lose their 4th straight as they fall to 23-17. Final totals: 11 runs, 9 hits, an error for the Aggies. 2 hits, 1 error for McNeese. Thanks to all of our 12-man productions crew for bringing you the action on the SEC Network, and thanks for tuning in on the TV side. Hope you enjoyed it. Next chance to catch the Aggies will be Friday night in Oxford, 6 p.m. on SEC Network Plus, as A&M takes on Ole Miss. On the radio side, stay tuned for our post-game show. We'll head down and visit with our head coach, Tricia Ford.